Previously on Gamin Thunder.
If this video gets 10 likes, I mean 10 likes, and then we'll see about doing a part 4. Would that happen? I guess we'll see.
The wait's finally over, cause it's time for part 4. What's up, gamers? It's Gamin Thunder, and today we're going on to part 4 of my top 5 favorite anime. And the series has been going on now pretty great, and so far we had 3 parts, and now it's time for part 4 as a highly requested one. You guys already know the rules, but let's get our new viewers up to speed with this. And this is a series where I talk about some of my 5 favorite anime, getting going in ascending order from 5 to 1. And these will all be talking about my personal opinions about these, and we'll also be talking about why they're so special to me. And yet, so, if you guys haven't seen any of my previous videos, I recommend watching them before you watch this one. And because it's going to be talking about numbers 20 through 15. So, let's get started. Number 5, Yu-Gi-Oh! Who remembers that battle card game called Yu-Gi-Oh? I know I do. But usually called Battle Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is also an anime, and that has evolved rapidly, since its first series. And since it talks about battle monsters and all sorts of card-playing games, and that keeps evolving series after series, and with Yugi, a specific card master who rises up to the top, and becomes the best battle monsters player. You also have all sorts of great cards in there, such as dragons, and creatures from different worlds, centaurs, and all sorts of amazing different creatures, and that just keeps evolving in this anime. And combine your cards right, and you get a badass creature that'll take down the entire competition. A lot of people find the creatures to be the most favorite are the dragons, but there's only one dragon in mind that I always use, and you already know who it is. Whenever I'm in battle, I always use my trump card. Whew, feels good to be out of that card. And I've been waiting to make a comeback since part 3. Glad to have you back, buddy. And it's glad to be back. Now let's get on to the next parts. Number 4, Attack on Titan. There's no monster that's more feared than a Titan. And it ends the job of the Scout Rangers of Maria and to stop these human-like monsters. And Eren Yeager, a boy who joins the Scout Rangers, uses the power of Titans to transform into them, and uses his powers to put a stop to Titans. And there's multiple Titans there with different classes, and stronger than the last, and as he avenges all the deaths of many people. People that whole series bring together people who have common grounds where they lost people they loved, people they cared about, their homes, as they put a stop to monsters like these. And this anime has left thrills, chills, and not to mention thrilling fights, and epic soundtracks, and concluded finally after so long. The anime may finally be over, but people that have still loved this anime, yet even myself, who always dreams that it would go on forever, but every good thing has to come to an end, and as they stop the reign of Titans, and forever. But Attack on Titan, I'll always love this series forever. And maybe someday I might find myself joining the Scouts. Number 3, Arifureta. From commonplace to world's strongest. That's a difficult stage for anyone to start with, especially for Hajime Nagamo. After overcoming a betrayal in the labyrinth by one of his own comrades, and Hajime Nagamo survives the infinite labyrinth and comes out on top, becoming one of the most fearsome fighters in the whole anime. And not to mention, he's got some super strong allies, or should I say, a super strong harem. You have a vampire, a bunny demi-human, a dragon girl, and not to mention all sorts of crazy fights. And as Nagamo continues his way, fighting through different labyrinths, different enemies, and no matter how strong they are, they could even be a god for all they care. Hajime will take them down, no sweat. And as he finds a way to return back to his home of Japan, and it doesn't matter what this world throws at him, he'll keep going on, and as the world's strongest, with all sorts of magic he has, and his mighty Glock. Number 2, Fairy Tail. From the creators of Eden Zero, Fairy Tail has been a manga and an anime that everyone's watched. Wizardry is all sorts of different things. And magic is also everywhere. And not to mention some unique creatures out there. You got flying fish, dragon, and even all sorts of barbarians out there. But one of them especially has caught everyone's eye. Natsu, with the powers of a dragon, and is able to consume flames, power himself up, and part of the strongest guild and kind of a wild guild out there called Fairy Tail, where they complete missions all sorts of on the world, and go on crazy adventures, meet all sorts of great allies, and battle all sorts of creatures and wizards everywhere. So Fairy Tail, it's continued to go popular, and not to mention, it has finally released its 100-year quest. And it took us 100 years, but the quest can finally begin. And Fairy Tail, this is gonna be a series you never want to miss out on. And at number 1, we have Beyblade. It's time to let it rip. Beyblade features this toy that you might see in stores about these little tops that are based on all sorts of different creatures that you build to make the perfect Bey. You have centaurs, you have dragons, you have Pegasus, and you have all sorts of creatures big and small, and as you battle to see who's the strongest blader. Jinga Hagane from the second series of Beyblade's reboot, and that has definitely caught my eye and has become the greatest Bey and blader in the whole series. You have epic fights that have featured so many different creatures, big and small. Rivals have risen to the top. But all sorts of epic fights that continue on from series to series. And even though the series is rebooted yet again, and the series is not as good as it was before, but it has evolved into something great, and where you can meet all sorts of iconic Beys, like my kind iconic Twisted Tempo, and even uber rare Beys, and like of course, the very rare Cyber Pegasus. So you gotta believe that Beyblade is a good anime you gotta watch, and if you're a fan of spinning tops, and the toy franchise is good to collect, if you like Honda spinning tops. I love all sorts of these anime, and these anime, they're not as popular as the first ones, but they are, in my opinion, some of the best ones that I've seen. You wanna know why? I'll tell you why. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been an iconic card game that's brought people together, brought rivals together, and also build a good community, where it's good to fight, and also play some card games, and where it's also enjoyable. Attack on Titan shows that anyone has the heart and the courage to fight the battle that rages on for years. You have to have the spirit, and the guts, and the heart to be able to take up the battle. And if you have that, you have what it takes to fight all sorts of Colossus beasts. And whether they're big, small, or even the size of an ant, and you got the stuff and the heart to take on anything. Arifureta really talks about how the harsh realities really pushes us down. But if you have the big determination to keep progressing even further, you'll have the spirit and the power to keep going on. And you just gotta be able to realize you're not weak, but you have to keep progressing and keep going even if it's hard. You gotta keep fighting no matter how hard it may, and you can rise up to become the strongest you've ever been. And so if you got the guts and the makeshift magic to do it, you know that you'll be able to become from a commonplace to the world's strongest. Fairy Tail really talks about how there's adventure even in the mythical world. And even if you are in some sort of world where it seems impossible, there's all sorts of places where you can meet new friends and new companions, and all sorts of different areas where you can see that anything is possible. And you can even take up wizardry if you want. You can be a wizard. And all sorts of different magic is there for you to discover and use that. All there in the future is yours for the taking. Beyblade shows that even though it can be a competition sometimes, and it's also fun. Whether you win or lose, it's always having fun and that matters the most. And whether you have to battle out for a petty feud, or you have to do this to save the world. Beyblade has evolved just like us, and the big lesson here in this, it doesn't matter power that in the end. What matters in the end is the blader spirit. I've enjoyed talking about that anime, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed hearing all sorts of my favorite animes and have actually watched them yourselves. I'm proud to say that the anime community has definitely changed me for the better, and has really opened my eyes to watching all sorts of great stuff out there. If you guys have watched these kind of animes, and then go for it. And I really hope you enjoy these as much as I do. But now, this series is just keep rapidly growing, and it's time for the next challenge for everybody. And next time, we should be talking about something more than just the anime, like anime movies. So let's test that theory, and I think it's time to up the ante and give you guys a real challenge. And so, if we can reach 10 more subscribers in this video and this whole series, if we get to 390 subscribers, I'll talk about some of my favorite anime movies. And are we able to reach that? Let's find out. If we do that, that would mean that amazing. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching another top 5 favorite animes. And let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite animes and maybe I'll talk about them in another video. But until then, let's get to 10 more subscribers so we can talk about my favorite anime movies. Anyway, guys, follow on that. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, join my Discord, follow my Instagrams, subscribe to all my friends' socials, and I'll see you guys later from your favorite anime YouTuber. And this is Gamin Thunder, signing out.